Girls was an idea for several years. When I first came to the Community Foundation in 1994, we were looking for any variety of ways to build the foundation. And I got wind of funds for women and girls that were growing in other community foundations. And the idea appealed to me personally, and it struck me as a way that we could really build some interest and some resources and do some interesting work. In that first year, I went to a national conference. I sought out my counterpart at the Madison, Wisconsin Community Foundation. That being my alma mater hometown, I had something in common. They had a very robust fund for women and girls, and she sat in a hotel in, I think it was Minneapolis, and looked me straight in the face and said, "Do not do this on your own, it will kill you." And said that it had nearly killed her. So I took that advice very seriously and spent the next several years kind of floating the idea with any number of people, waiting for somebody to say, "Oh, I want to do that."
It's just nothing but exciting to see something that was really a small kind of idea in the 1990s become something that is not only successful and growing, but really is an integral part, I think, of the Princeton Area Community Foundation's thinking.
When this 15 years ago, $1 million was our dream, that we were going to get there. To be able to have that kind of support behind this is just extraordinary. It's a statement to how generous people have been, how hard the volunteers have worked, and really the kind of commitment that the staff has made. It's just so wonderful. Wow, $800,000 worth of grants. I'm just really proud.
I give because I can, and I give because I feel I must, as part of being a humanist and as part of being a member of a community. And I think of giving not just as providing financial resources, but giving time, giving what is called talent. I just think it's an obligation of living.
Issues that a woman of color faces are different than those that a white woman in a high socioeconomic status. They're both victims of sexism, but they're impacted very differently, and they have very different resources to deal with the impact of sexism. So we need to look at all these aspects.
I was just really blown away by the women in the room. So it just seemed like a very interesting group of women. Women's issues have always been important to me, even more so having had 3 children, sons and a daughter. I just think, there's no more important issue, especially now.
When I decided to become an architect in 1974, there were fewer women architects than female coal miners or steel workers. And I had no clue at all. But after having children and having, moved forward in this male-dominated field, I think I realized that, everything really has to work really well in order for you to function. And when one little thing goes wrong, the whole family and the whole community suffers. So for women who don't maybe have a full education or family support, which I have a lot of, I really clearly understood the vulnerability there.
I love that they take financial contributions that may not seem like a lot if you're doing it individually, and being able to put it together and make a much larger impact on an organization by pooling the resources. What a fantastic idea.
Giving back to the community has always been very important to me. And as I look at the ways in which I can give back, both in terms of time, talent, and treasure, working with local organizations that support those who most need our help just continues to resonate with me.
I believe that the programs that have been chosen for funding reflect the original mission of the start of the foundation, and that's why I continue.
Well, I think there's a lot more support and a lot more outreach, and a lot more understanding what these women and girls do need to lead a more productive life than they did 20 years ago.
The fund gave a cocktail party 2 or 3 years ago talking about where Mercer County stood in regard to the other 21 counties in New Jersey, and it was appalling that where we lived was ranked 15th and above in all the areas of taking care of children and women. And that's very scary because it's a really bad start for somebody, and we need to be there to help them.
So I think the Fund for Women and Girls has been inspiring, and I hope that that inspiration will continue.
I really feel that the focus of the fund in this area, which I think is, in my opinion, somewhere I'd like to go in the future, will be very, very important to the community to kind of provide a foundation for education, higher education, and then careers for members of our community.
So I would say, looking forward from the 20th year to the 21st, that every woman who's ever given to the fund should think about making a gift that is a multiple of any gift she's made in the past. Times 2, times 3, times 5, times 10, I don't know, someone's got to make that decision for themselves, but stasis isn't going to get us there. And, you know, I hope they join in that